Hey y'all. So doing zodiac readings, birth chart readings, which is a natal chart. And if you don't know about your natal chart, well, your natal chart is like a birth certificate, like a astrological birth certificate. So basically, imagine on the day that you were born, on the time that you were born, the sky took a picture of you, and like all the constellations were that picture, and all the constellations were in different pictures we call zodiacs, like zodiac signs, like Leo, like it's a lion, it's a picture. So your natal chart is your astrological picture. So what is your natal chart going to tell you? It's going to tell you where all the zodiac positions were placed by all the planets, including the sun and the moon, and where everything was placed at when you were born. So what we know is our natal chart. We know our sun sign. So we know the position that the sun was in when we were born, and that's the sign that you're assigned to. So me, I'm a Scorpio. So I'm assigned out. That means that the sun was in the position of the constellation zodiac sign Scorpio um, when I was born, and then my ascending sign is determined by the time you were born. Your ascending sign is like your natural sign. Um, it's how the world sees you. It's how you react without thinking. It's how um, you like influence the world. And that sign is your rising sign, or also known as your ascending sign, ascendant sign. And you find all that out in your natal chart. So then you have all the planets. You have Mercury, which being the planet of communication. You have Venus being the planet of love. Mars, more like physical aggression. Um, Saturn is the planet of discipline. Jupiter is the planet of business, um, luck. It's a lot of other stuff that go into these things. I'm just naming one or a few just to show you the different traits and different energies that influence you. Like, so, Mercury being in what position is in when you were born? What position was Mercury in when you were born? you know that influences you just as much as what position the sun was in when you were born. So, why don't you know? Like you thinking that the only sign that influences you is the zodiac sign that you were assigned to, and that is why that is why astrology is flawed the way they teach it now, because they're teaching you that you're only influenced by one energy, which is the sun. They're teaching you that everybody that was born on this month is influenced by that same energy, and there's no other energies that influence y'all. Like that's who you are. And that's why people don't believe in astrology. And that's why they um they keep these secrets from you. If you hide the truth inside of it, then you stop people from believing, and then you can have them believing what you want them to believe in instead of something that makes sense if it's told the right way. And what I'm trying to tell you is that all the planets influence you just as strongly as the sun do. Everything influence you in a different way. Everything influence you in a different way. So that's why I was trying to say that Mercury being planet of communication, intelligence, you know, those things is where Mercury influences you. It influences your the way you think. It influences the way you communicate how you think. So not knowing what position Mercury was in is the same thing as not knowing what position the sun was in. Like, yeah, the sun is pretty, it's powerful. It affects our conscious level of understanding the world and our conscious level of how we, take on form. So the conscious level of how we, I would say, interact with the world, the conscious level of how we interact with the world and how we consciously perceive the world. And that can make up a lot, that can tell you a lot. But if you think that the same way you interact with the world, or the same way you consciously interact with the world, or you consciously see the world, it's not the same way that you communicate. It's not the same energy. It could be. Mine is. Sun sign, Scorpio. My Mercury is Scorpio as well. So what that means is those do the same thing. So me not knowing that my Mercury was Scorpio wouldn't affect anything because my sun sign is a Scorpio. So the way that I consciously perceive the world and consciously interact with the world is the same energy that I use when I communicate to the world and when I think about how the world responds to me. That's all in Scorpio for me. Venus, different energy, but it's still what position Venus was in when you were born. What zodiac position, constellation that Venus was in? Venus is an energy of its own. It affects the things that you hold valuable. Say that Venus was in Cancer. Well, Cancers, like the thing that Cancers hold most valuable is family. So if your Venus was in the position of Cancer when you were born, that would mean that you're you value family the same way a Cancer would. Now, your sun sign is a Cancer. That means you consciously view the world like a Cancer and you consciously interact with the world like a Cancer. But say your Venus was in Capricorn. And the reason I say Capricorn, not saying that a Capricorn don't hold hold family high, but a Capricorn's energy is self. So nothing wrong with any of these traits. They're all human traits. It's a human trait to be selfish. It's a human trait to think about yourself. But that human trait, that energy, it's a Capricorn energy, but it's not only a Capricorn energy. I could have used a couple other signs. But that's like where its strong energy is, and just nothing wrong with that. Cause look, here's it is. Capricorns do make good leaders. Like if I put myself first, right? And you believe in my values, you believe in what I'm going for. No disagreement and 100% in, then the Capricorn would be a good leader because they're focused on that belief, that thing. Like if we was basketball players and I was a Capricorn, being selfish don't mean you not passing the ball. That mean you believe in elevating yourself to the highest and you would be a good leader because that same passion that they see in you, they want. So they model themselves after you to try to get that same result. So your sun sign being a Cancer and your Venus being a Capricorn is in probably like a trine or actually more like a opposition. Like it don't oppose in general. Like it's not opposite, but you'll be a Cancer, but your highest value will be in yourself. Now, if your sun sign was in Cancer and your Venus was in Cancer, then your highest priority, your highest value would be family. You will value family first over anything. Now, check this. Your sun sign is a Cancer. This is how you consciously interact with the world, consciously see the world. You have those same values because you consciously think about your family. That's a high priority. That's something that's consciously a conscious energy in your mind. And your Venus is in Capricorn. Okay, so now you'll be a very you'll be a person that'll be focused on bringing their family to a better place by focusing on yourself and building something for them. So you'll be like the dad on Click who, focused on his business, but took his family to a high place. But at the end of his life, he wish he would have did it reverse. He wish he would have focused on his family first because he missed out. So I was here to do, a Q&R, and we can do some natal chart readings. I want to show y'all the power of astrology. Like I want to show y'all the accuracy. I want to show y'all why they used astrologers in the past to know, is it a good time for war or a bad time for war? Like, these are life or death questions. So if the astrologer was wrong and I said, oh yeah, it's a good time for war, and we go in there and we all die and become slaves, that's a big question to ask somebody. So was it one or two things where was mankind, was mankind back then like just dumb to ask men who look to the stars for answers and then said, well, look, here, this is what the stars say. Could they be wrong? It's a man. A man can always be wrong. Can the stars be wrong? No, the stars are never wrong. And I've been doing natal chart readings since 2012. They just always been personal. I mean, not just personal, like tons, hundreds of strangers, hundreds of people that I knew, hundreds of strangers too. It's always been accurate. I don't gotta know you, and I don't gotta know anything about you. But let's just see. So the comments is open for Q&R session, uh, Q&A, but same thing. Y'all ask questions, I answer. You want to know about your sign? Just put your sign in the comments. I'll talk about it. If you want to know about anybody's sign, your girlfriend's sign, it's all cool. But I'm only going to talk about the conscious way they interact with the world and the conscious way they view the world, because subconsciously it's a different energy. The way you think and the way you feel, different energies. Now, like I said, I've done hundreds, like give or take close to 1,000 of people natal charts. I haven't yet came across someone with the same sun sign and the same moon sign. So I don't think that the sun and the moon is ever in the same position when somebody is born. I just never seen it. I don't know. I'm a human. I only did about 1,000 people natal charts. Just 12 billion. I don't know how billions of people in the world. Well, I've only did 1,000, not even 100 zeroth of a percentage of how many people it is. It's just out of the 1,000 people natal charts that I've read, I never seen the sun sign and the moon sign be the same, which tells me that the way people feel and the way people think are two different energies. So my sun sign is a Scorpio, but my moon sign is a Pisces. I mean, you two different words, two different energies, two different symbols. Mm, it's hard to show you on here, but I guess um, Pisces symbol is by the moon, Scorpio. I did it wrong. That's the Pisces symbol by the moon up there. I'm sorry. So Pisces by the moon, Scorpio by the sun. So the way I consciously perceive the world and interact with the world is like a Scorpio. But the way I subconsciously feel about the world and interact with my feelings about the world is a Pisces. So I don't know, people don't know Pisces is a sign of depression, illusion. It's also a sign of faith. What happens when your faith in the people that you trust in betray you? You become lost. And Pisces is obviously a very sensitive sign, but it's also very loving sign, very helpful sign. Like out of all signs, and that's another thing I wanna do and play. But out of all signs, I used to have a Pisces like this in my life. I don't have one right now. It was my cousin. He had moved um out of state, so it's not like I don't have him. But what I'm saying is, if you want to call on anybody that will stop what they're doing and come help you, that's a Pisces energy. And the reason why I'm letting you know it's a Pisces energy because your friend could be a Libra, but his Venus isn't in Pisces, which means his highest values are the values of a Pisces. So that would be helping people and believing in something good or positive or hopeful. So for their Venus to be in Pisces, I would say, that they would probably be some type of like highly spiritual, religious person, um, as far as their highest values, will have some kind of spiritual or religious background to its highest value. There definitely wouldn't be no atheist, but if a Pisces was an atheist, it'd be the most atheistless atheist out of all because when a Pisces believe in something, they believe in it with everything. So it's just a Pisces wouldn't be an atheist because a Pisces have to believe in something. That's just coming out of being a Pisces moon. But that's just knowing the energy of a Pisces. They have to believe in something. It's the only thing that keep them alive. So it is a sign of depression. So yeah, my moon sign being a Pisces, I battled with depression my whole entire life. I can't say like being 3 years old and stuff like that. I wasn't depressed, but at least ever since school started, ever since kindergarten, and not feeling like you fit in, no matter where you went, or if you did fit in, so many people jealous and want to make sure that you don't. So And at the end of the day, I can't say at 3 years old I wasn't depressed. I didn't see my mom from two to fifth grade. So it's like a child having their mother and then not having their mother and not understanding why. Been depressed my whole life, and the way a Pisces takes that is somebody that they believed in, trusted, abandoned them, and have a wonderful relationship with my mother now. I'm a Scorpio. Um, my ascendant sign is a Scorpio. My Mercury is a Scorpio. Scorpio stands for birth, death, and regeneration. In order for that to be born, to die, and to be born again. That is my sign. That is what's going to happen in my life at all times, throughout all situations that arise. They're going to be born, they're going to die, and I'm going to come out even stronger every trip. That's a Scorpio's energy. I'm not saying other signs don't carry certain energies that other signs do, but what I'm saying is those energies can be in you and you just don't know where they at, where they coming from, and certain reasons why you have different energies in you and you respond and act different in different situations. And so my sun sign is a Scorpio, and my energy is loyalty. So if your Venus was in Scorpio, then loyalty would be your highest value. Like, do y'all see where I'm coming from now? Like, you can be a Cancer or whatever. We was already talking about being a Cancer. You can be a Cancer and you can have loyalty as a Cancer. You can be just trying to think of signs that are like exceedingly loyal. And it's hard because each sign has its own energy. And if you find yourself to be an extremely loyal person, you probably could be a Scorpio, Venus, Taurus, Cancer. I was thinking like it's like see Taurus. Their highest value would be in it's like it's a real money sign. It's a money sign. Cancer money sign too, but Taurus about that business, about that paper. Name a broke Taurus that you know. Name a Taurus that you know that ain't getting money. Name a Taurus that you know that ain't hustling. Name a broke Taurus. This is America, like not a third world country where you ain't have no choice but to be broke. But you got a choice. I'm talking about you got a choice. I cannot fix this now. Cause this camera is like I see everything backwards. I'm gonna just have to leave it like it is. Cause when I go up, it goes down. When I go down, it go up, and I can't make my brain go down to go up. Like I can't go down and knowing that I'm actually going up. Like it's just backwards. Like when I go left, I go right. So I don't understand that. Like why do I go the opposite way on camera? So yeah, this was supposed to be a Q&R, Q&A, and I want to get into doing some natal chart readings with y'all, just going over signs and going over like where energy's hitting where. Like we didn't even get to really talking about everything. Mars, like what energy is that? This one I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this one up for probably the rest of the night. And like I said, like right now, like I'm not leaving my lives up. Okay. I'm gonna start doing them more frequently. But as of right now, they only stay up for like the day that it was debuted. So this will stay up all day, probably 24 hours. Probably be available for 24 hours. Yeah, I can watch it and come to the next one. We can do a Q&R, start talking about you. That's what we're gonna have some fun. So give you a couple more minutes, and if anybody come in, I don't know when I'm about to do this because I'm only doing a couple more minutes. But if anybody come in, um, if anybody come in, let me know what's your zodiac sign, and if you put it in the comment, then on the next one, that's the zodiac sign I'll talk about, and I'll put your sign in the scenarios, and if you want like me to do a natal chart reading, I do believe um and my email in the description. You can email me and let me know you want me to do a natal chart reading for you. So then I will let you know, like we'll do it live or through Zoom or something like that. However, so yeah, that's what I want to start doing with y'all. So we can do some natal chart readings and have some fun. Learn about ourselves, learn about the science, learn about true astrology, talking about it the right way, understanding it the right way, and getting more value out of it and realizing its accuracy. So then you can get deeper and understand and get more value out of it. So that'll be that. Mm. Trying to give y'all a couple more minutes for comments, but like I said, I had this video up for the rest of the day, and just let me know. Send me a comment what your sign is, and I'll talk about it. And then you want to be more fun, like do y'all like natal charts, like know what your moon sign is, know what your Mercury is, know what your natal chart is. If you come in, you know what your natal chart is. I do a natal chart reading a lot faster if you know what your natal chart is. That way you could tell me, I don't gotta find out, and then I can just read the energies. So if you know what your natal chart is, that'd be just even more awesome. And catch you guys next time. Another day, another time.